Droids were the expendable and replaceable mechanical servants of the Separatist army that we all came to know and some of us loved throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars. Through the ingenious coding and manufacturing of the Trade Federation, there were millions upon millions of droids produced and put on standby for immediate deployment. One of these droids being a simple B1 model, who would later come to be known as the Lone Battle Droid. All connected to the Separatist Central Control mainframe, the droid army was built on maintaining order through unwavering programmed loyalty that was practically impossible to override. With that said, all the programming was located within a droid's cranium, and in 99% of cases, once a droid was hit there, he was rendered useless for the entirety of the battle until he was picked up by the Separatists and sent back to the Trade Federation factories in order to be recycled. These droids were stuck in a perpetual cycle where they would be destroyed in battle and later rebuilt, essentially becoming a whole new droid with their programming refreshed and loyalty never faltering, all in the name of Star Wars economics. This, however, all changed when Separatist forces were sent to the mountainous planet of Antamon and used to overcome a heavily fortified Republic stronghold. The droid known as the Lone Battle Droid, like every one of his comrades in battle, was disposable and cost efficient and had been recycled numerous times. On this fateful day, however, when marching to the Republic stronghold, the Lone Battle Droid was at the front of his particular group and stepped on a mine, detonating it, destroying a number of droids and damaging vehicles. The lone droid, however, was sent sprawling through the air and landed near a river, hitting his head on a rock and damaging his cranium. The world went black for the B1 battle droid and it seemed like it was going to be the usual perpetual cycle. However, instead of being rendered useless and later recycled, the droid awoke and realized its connection to the core had been severed. As soon as everything had registered within the droid's now free mind, a new imperative took hold, and the droid realized he was in an extremely dangerous situation and ran for several kilometers or 4 miles until he had thought he had put enough distance between him and the Separatist army. The droid, thinking it had a moment to take in everything that had just happened, began to ponder all the different possibilities and opportunities he now had. Just as he was taking in the breathtaking natural beauty of Antamon, a Separatist grapple droid whose programming permitted him to trail the deserting battle droid all the way to the cliff's edge, ordered him to return to battle. The B1 battle droid had no intention of doing this, and after trying but failing to override the grapple droid's programming with treasonous words, a fight ensued. After blows were exchanged, the lone battle droid had half his arm cut off, however managed to outsmart the grapple droid and make him fall off the cliff. The grapple droid, however, managed to grab the lone battle droid and take him with. In saying this, however, the grapple droid came off far worse and took the majority of the impact from the fall. An emotional dialogue was then exchanged between the two, and the barely functioning grapple droid asked the lone battle droid why he didn't return to central control to get his batteries recharged, as he would not last long in the wilderness. The grapple droid, its connection to the core now severed as well, was afraid of death. The B1 battle droid, however, stayed with him and tried to ease his fears until he went offline. Their last exchange went something like this: "It's getting very dark. The core is no longer returning my signal. I don't want to go offline. I am afraid. You don't have to be. You are not alone." Following this, the grapple droid shut off permanently. The B1 battle droid, although depressed from his encounter with the grapple droid, took one last look at the battle and wandered off into the forest, deciding that a short 2-hour life disconnected from the core would be better than one with no conscience at all. He wandered through Antamon's terrain until twilight, found a tree, lay against it and took everything in one last time until he shut off due to lack of power. After many seasons, the droid remained untouched. Eventually, 2 farmers stumbled upon the body and were surprised at its thematic location that happened to be far away from the initial battle, as well as its relatively intact form. One farmer then remarked if they could change the droid's battery, they could then reactivate it and use it to help them around the ranch. With that, the 2 farmers took the droid back to their ranch, ready to give the lone battle droid a new life.